Hello everyone. This is Zhang from Jiang University and the City University of Hong Kong. I'm glad to give a talk about our M3.3, multi-domain, multitask mixture of experts recommendation framework. This is a joint work with Kuaishou Technology and Xi'an University. Our talk consists of four main parts. The first is introduction, including motivation and research background. Recommender system research moves towards more complex and practical scenarios like multi-domain and multitask problems. In multi-domain recommendation, users may show similar tastes or behaviors on different domains. For example, user may prefer similar kinds of movies on both TV and tablet. In multitask recommendation, users may interact items in various ways, which depict preferences differently. For example, user can like, comment, or save a movie, which describes different intentions towards the item. So, can we utilize user historical liked movies on TV to infer his saving behavior on tablet? And the answer is yes. And this is the multi-domain multitask recommendation, the research problem of this paper. But unfortunately, it's hard for an existing multi-domain recommendation or multitask recommendation solution to generalize well in the multi-domain multitask setting. First, the same multi-domain information transfer method may not generalize to different tasks. Second, the same multitask optimization balancing strategy may not generalize to different domains. So we conduct a preliminary experiment. The leftmost is the AUC of MLP run on 3 domains and 2 tasks individually. It works as a baseline. We then test multitask method MMOE, multi-domain method STAR, and our multi-domain multitask method MQoE. We report the relative improvement or decrease over MLP. It shows that MMOE and STAR can achieve overall better performance than MLP, which proves the benefits from cross-task or cross-domain knowledge transfer. However, they cannot achieve consistently the best performance as shown in the orange grids. Our MQoE utilizes multi-domain and multitask knowledge well, and can achieve a consistent improvement over baseline. Next, let's introduce the framework. Our framework mainly consists of 3 layers and 2-level fusing mechanism, as shown in the red figure. From bottom to top, the first layer is domain representation layer. It's responsible for feature-level multi-domain knowledge transfer. The second layer is multi-view expert learning layer, which contains diverse expert networks working from diverse perspectives. It extracts and integrates information for specific domain and task with 2-level fusion mechanism. The top level is multi-domain multitask objective prediction layer. It generates separate output for each domain and task pair. And let's dive into the detail. The domain representation layer aims at domain common and distinct information capture. When inputting domain D features XD, we first calculate dot product of domain D specific weight WD and domain share weight WSH. And then we conduct linear operation FDR as well as a domain agnostic mapping FDA. FDR and FDA are both linear layers. Then we can extract domain representation of D domains. In the multi-view expert learning layer, we set 3 expert modules S, D, and T from left to the right. To disentangle the multi-domain, multitask representation learning into common knowledge, domain aspects, and task aspects. Then we conduct multi-view representation balancing for an effective fusion. The shared expert module contains n experts. Each expert is a linear operation with layer normalization and value. We assign d times t gate layers to quantify contribution of n experts towards d times t objectives, so that we can achieve the common knowledge across domains and tasks S of HD. The domain expert module contains d expert networks for d domains individually. For the expert fusion, we set a learnable weight beta d belonging to 0 and 1 to weight the contribution of current operated domain d's representation. For other domains experts, they are weighted with 1 minus beta d over d minus 1. Through this weighted fusion, we can achieve d domains perspectives representation when learning each domain representation HD. The task expert module contains t expert networks. Each of them describes the perspective of one task. We also set fusion weight beta t belonging to 0 and 1 for current task expert, and 1 minus beta t over t minus 1 for other task experts. Through this multitask disentanglement and fusion, we can get task aspect representation, T of HD. After the processing of 3 expert modules, we conduct the second level of representation fusion by adding 2 fusion weights alpha d and alpha t. So we can get the balanced representation HD between common knowledge, domain perspective, and task perspective. Both alpha belong to 0 and 1. In multi-domain multitask objective prediction layer, we assign d times t tower layers for d times t objectives. Each tower layer is a 2 layers MLP with sigmoid function. To achieve the adaptivity of multi-domain and multitask knowledge fusion, we set learnable embedding to optimize the 2-level fusion weights, along with model training, as shown in the objective function, where the inner loop shows optimization of fusion weights, and we use BCE laws for model training. To verify its performance, we devise comprehensive analysis including overall performance comparison, visualization, population study, and hyperparameters analysis. We conduct experiments over 2 datasets. For both datasets, we test the performance over 2 tasks on 3 domains. We incorporate diverse baselines, including models for single domain, single task, models for multitask, models for multi-domain, and models for multi-domain multitask. From the results, we can observe that the multitask learning and multi-domain learning methods, as shown in the red rectangular, they generally outperform the single domain, single task method MLP, which is the green rectangular. This is because performance is improved by cross-task or cross-domain knowledge modeling. The multi-domain version baseline outperforms the multitask version, like shared bottom, PLE, and MMOE. That means the performance gap between different domains is smaller compared to the gap between tasks. The multi-domain multitask version of shared bottom, MMOE, and PLE achieve better results than the multi-domain learning and the multitask learning versions in many cases, which showcases the valuable information across both tasks and domains. However, all of them show seesaw phenomenon, and none of them achieves consistently the best performance. Our M3.3 achieves consistently leading performance with prominent improvement, except for the domain 2 on Query. The domain tool accounts for over 90% data samples of the whole dataset in Queryland, which is a big challenge for multi-domain modeling. And baselines only fitting domain tool data are not affected. Overall, our MQoE achieves the best performance in the multi-domain methods and the best performance with 5.48 improvement over the second best baseline. The next is visualization. In visualization, we visualize disentangled embeddings from each expert and module. In the domain expert module, we find the fused domain embedding owns a mixed distribution with current domain-specific expert embedding, which shows domain-specific expert plays dominant role in knowledge fusion. In the task expert module on Queryland dataset, we find that task experts hold different views on the same domain embedding. The fused embedding maintains a balanced distribution. And the same phenomenon shows on the multi-view modules fusion. The modules hold different views to the same domain embedding, and the fused embedding maintains a balanced distribution. In the ablation study, we comprehensively test the performance contribution of each component. We can see that MQoE without AutoML gets the worst performance, which shows that the adaptive fusion with alpha and beta contribute much to the performance. We also tune the hyperparameter to test the robustness. It shows that different data sets attain best performance with different settings. And in conclusion, we propose an adaptive multi-domain, multi-task mixture of experts recommendation framework. Its 3 mixture of expert modules learn common domain aspects and task aspect user preference respectively. Its 2-level fusion mechanism with self-adaptive fusion weights precisely control over feature extraction and fusion across diverse domains and tasks. Experiments over 2 benchmark data sets against diverse baselines prove its efficacy. So that's all for today's talk. Thanks for listening. Below QR codes are our AML Live, my homepage, and the code of the project. I really expect a further discussion with you. Thanks.